was all my adrenaline-riddled brain would allow me to say. Then I waved my hand in his general direction. Bee. His gaze was momentarily caught by the rather large black and yellow insect zigzagging away from the bush I'd been reaching into. "You've been stung?" he asked, in a curling Scottish accent. I nodded. "Don't worry," he said. "I've got you." For a moment, I thought he was going to go all Indiana Jones and suck the poison out of my finger. I was almost disappointed when he dashed off across the grass to where a fancy-looking tripod and camera stood, rummaged in his backpack, and returned with a small plastic case. "It only works if you get to it quickly," he said, nodding at me to hold my hand out while he unpacked the contents of the case and assembled what looked like a fat syringe with a little clear plastic cup on the end instead of a needle. He took my hand, placed the device over where I indicated the sting was, and pulled the plunger. The suction caused the skin to balloon into a little dome, and, magically, a little bead of what I assumed to be venom appeared on the surface. I watched wide-eyed as he released the device and wiped the evidence of the bee attack away with an antiseptic wipe. "There. It might still throb a bit, but it won't be nearly as bad as if it had stayed in there." Thank you." "You're welcome." He smiled at me, and I had another pulse-spiking adrenaline surge. "Do you think it's going to die?" He stopped smiling and looked confused. "The bee." The smile popped back, this time with a little huff of a laugh for company. "Bees die after they sting something, don't they?" Now I'd thought about it, I was quite upset about that. After all, it had hardly been the bee's fault I'd lumbered into its nectar-gathering session. He glanced in the direction of where we'd last seen it. "I'm pretty sure it was a wasp, so I think you're okay on that front. No bee murdering going on today." There was a lovely roll of the R when he said murder. His expression grew more serious. "But what about you? You're not allergic to bees? I mean, wasps, are you?" He began turning my hand around to view my finger from different angles, checking for swelling, and oxygen no longer seemed to be reaching the bottom of my lungs as efficiently as it had done a few minutes earlier. Maybe I was allergic. "I don't know," I said, managing to string a coherent sentence together, despite the soft brush of his skin against mine. "I don't think so, but people develop weird allergies out of the blue sometimes, don't they? My aunt ate shellfish with no trouble her whole life until she turned 29, and then bam, one butterfly king prawn and they had to call an ambulance. She's needed to carry an EpiPen ever since." Why was I telling him this? And why wasn't he letting go of my hand? "Are you okay?" he asked again, leaning in and looking into my eyes. He was much taller than me, even though I was a pretty average height, but not burly. The sort of boy who would have been a rangy youth, but had filled out a bit now he was a man. I guessed he was maybe a year or two older than me, and he had slightly shaggy, dark hair, with just a hint of red where the sun hit it, and the most ridiculously thick lashes. He wasn't what some people would consider traditionally good-looking. There was a strength to his features, and a warmth in his brown eyes that was very appealing. "Yes, I think I'm okay," I said. His smile widened, and he loosened his grip on my hand, let it fall, and started packing his syringe thingy away. "What exactly is that?" I asked. "Oh, just a useful bit of kit I like to carry with me. I travel a lot, and sometimes to places with much scarier bugs than a common garden English wasp." I nodded. This was probably not the time to tell him. The closest time I'd got to being anywhere abroad was a hen night in Dublin with my cousin. Expensive foreign holidays weren't a feature of my upbringing. Not that nobody hadn't wanted to travel. It's just that other things, other priorities, had made it impossible. "I didn't mean to scare you when I came running."